Majora and the Fierce Deity are the most mysterious yet powerful characters in the Zelda series, but their origins are even more in the mud than... Nope, I can't make a clever simile. The Fierce Deity and Majora have had more theories thrust about them than Twilight Princess HD being confirmed. So what's the deal? Who are these two? Where did they come from? And why are these two so different, yet so similar at the same time? Today we set out to the land of Termina to find out who these two are and what connection do they have to Termina and each other. Before I go to the central theory, I would like to give a big thanks to another girl Zelda theorist who helped in inspiring one of the key components of this theory, Vortexy Gaming. She came up with the idea that Termina has all of their own wielders of the Triforce. However, the Wisdom Wielder is absent. She thought that this being, known as the Goddess of Time, was Termina's counterpart to Zelda. Big thanks to Vortex on that part. I'll put her channel in the description if you guys want to check her out. Now that all thanks have been given and Tindra said, let's jump into the theory. The Fierce Deity is the most powerful collectible mask in the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The mask is obtainable by talking to the 4 lunar children of the moon at the end of the game, by giving them your mask and going through all of their trials. Once you talk to the child wearing Majora's Mask after completing all of the trials, he gives you the Fierce Deity's mask, and suggests that they play a game of good guys against bad guys. It is through this child that you're transported to the boss room, but how did we go from this to this? It's a video game made in 2000, don't question it. Sorry, I got a little over the top there. So let's just forget about it and keep moving to the real questions. Why does Majora call Link the bad guy? Why does Majora give the Fierce Deity mask to Link? And why is the layer of the root of all evil a paradise? And why do the moon children look like the happy mask salesman? These questions have hardly ever been answered by Nintendo at all, except for one, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's stick to the questions that haven't been answered at all and try to decipher them. What do they mean? Well, for those who watch Vortexy Gaming's Majora's Mask Fierce Deity video, click here to check it out, you would be familiar with the Goddess of Time, who is Zelda, or more accurately, Hylia's Terminian counterpart, who doesn't take a mortal form, but is an entity that watches over Termina and guards how time flows in that universe. It is this deity, the Goddess of Time, where it all starts. Before we get back to the lore, I want to ask all of you a personal question. What do you think of when you hear the phrase, the devil on your shoulder? A small red man with horns and a trident? Personally, in my opinion, I see him as a weeping angel, but that's beside the point. Anyways, the devil is supposedly only out to do one thing, whisper temptations into the hearts of men, and who is to say that the Goddess of Time can't have one too? And since Termina has a culture centered around masks, the goddess sees this Satan as a mask. Majora, whispering temptations of torture and fun into her ear all the time. But what about the Fierce Deity? How does he fit into all of this? Well, every goddess needs a hero, even the Goddess of Time. The Fierce Deity is a warrior of the Goddess of Time, created using the merits of all the people of Termina, including the evildoers in the land, giving it not only powers of light, but darkness as well. With this central idea that Majora is more than just a mask, we can now connect the dots even better than before. First, let's look at what Majora is. The design of Majora's final form does remind me quite a lot of Satan's true shape. Muscular, horns in the head, even Majora uses whips in the same way that Satan does. Inflict pain and weakness on humans? Stuns Link and hurts him after being hit? Please, you can't tell me that isn't just a coincidence. Even Majora's hiding place of evil is connected to the Goddess of Time. Question of the video. When playing through Majora's Mask for the first time, when heading into the final area of the game, the moon itself, what did you think it would look like? Gygus' hiding place in Earthbound? An insane world with no rules? Nope. It's just a green field with a lone tree in the middle, and with what I'd like to call the children of the moon playing around the tree. This would seem as a little bit odd for the mask of Satan to use as his hiding place, or maybe it's just a reflection of Majora's origins. You see, Majora was a creation of the goddess of time, a being sworn to protect and help the people of Termina. So to see an offshoot of her grace still carry some of her traits isn't a huge stretch. And the children of the moon, don't they look a little bit similar to the Happy Mask Salesman? Another point towards Vortexy Gaming for creating the theory that the Happy Mask Salesman is an envoy for the goddess of time, trying to bring Majora back to Termina and keeping it under his watch until Link can come around and destroy it. Yet Majora, desperate to get away from its fate, set out a call for help to another being, the Skull Kid, whispering temptations of power and happiness to him. And as shown in the game, he obeyed. But didn't I mention that Satan likes to whisper temptations into the hearts of men? Bingo! We found our example. Also, there are other things in the game that shows that the goddess has a lot of a better impact on the symbolism of the game than we think. Take the moon, for example. Why did you think that Majora would use the moon as the end of the world instead of using the giants to end the world? I mean, they can do it since they were able to be easily transformed into creatures of evil. Why not end the world using them? Well, the symbolism of the moon and what it means in Satan's case plays more into the theory of Majora is the goddess's devil. The moon is a symbol of literal and metaphorical darkness and is the domain of Satan. Okay, don't tell me that isn't a coincidence, because it can't be. In fact, the Fierce Deity plays more into the idea that he was created out of the goddess's being as well. Take a look at his design. Look at the breastplate. One side is a moon and the other is a triangle. Both of these symbols are connected to the goddess of time. How, you say? Well, let's tackle the triangle first. The triangle can be assumed to be the Triforce, essence of the gods, yada yada yada. So there's the triangle out of the way. Essence of the gods, goddess of time, blah blah blah. Let's keep going. But what about the moon? Well, I just told you why he's connected to the moon. Majora comes from the goddess, and since he's Satan, according to this video, his domain is the moon. Yin and yang bit, all that stuff. Also, the Helix Blade. Did you ever wonder why the designers decided on a helix design of a sword instead of a regular one? What if the design was actually inspired by DNA? DNA of the world. Remember that the Fierce Deity is the goddess's connection to the people of Termina. He was created from the DNA of the world that she is protecting. The goddess of time's influence on Termina stretches further than the main villain of the game as well. Take the four giants, for example. All of them were creations of the goddess, representing all four directions, north, south, east, and west, and all of that. And their song is connected to the goddess as well. She gives up most of her power to protect her people, and the giants are symbolic of her dedication, her oath to keep order in Termina. The further down the tree hole we go, the more it gets detailed, but we'll stop it there. The lore of this game stretches so far that it's impossible to comprehend. But it could be possible that we've solved another mystery in the Zelda franchise. We'll never know, but we can agree on one thing. Whether this theory is correct or not, we can say for sure that Majora's Mask is definitely an interesting game. Thanks guys a lot for watching. If you like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe for tons more Zelda theories. Also, gigantic thanks to Vortexy Gaming for creating the theory of the Goddess of Time. Check out our channel by checking out the heart piece in the corner right here. Also, comment down below what Zelda game you want me to tackle next. This has been ChampionAshley, and next time, I think I've got some huge scales to tip.